So y'all know when I have this mic what it means, right? And for those of you who don't know, when I have this mic, you're about to find out. When we left off, the last book that I'd read was Waiting to Exhale. Since then, I've read about 12, 13 more books. I don't know who's keeping count, not me. Out of those 12 and 13 books, I wanted to come and talk to y'all about the ones that really pulled at my heartstrings the most. So I'm going to start off with The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. And the D stands for D. Shiznit. When Springville residents, at least the ones still alive, are questioned about what happened on prom night, they all have the same explanation. Maddie did it. An outcast at her small-town Georgia high school, Madison, Washington, has always been a teasing target for bullies, and she's dealt with it because she has more pressing problems to manage. Until the morning a surprise rainstorm reveals her most closely kept secret. Maddie is biracial. She has been passing for white her entire life at the behest of her fanatical white father, Thomas Washington. After a viral bullying video pulls back the curtain on Springville High's racist roots, student leaders come up with a plan to change their image, host the school's first integrated prom as a show of unity. Mind you, this book is set in 2014, and they're talking about the school's first integrated prom. Let's be for real. Anyways, the popular white class president convinces her black superstar quarterback boyfriend to ask Maddie to be his date, leaving Maddie wondering if it's possible to have a normal life. But some of her classmates aren't done with her just yet, and what they don't know is that Maddie still has another secret, one that will cost them all their lives. One thing Tiffany D. Shiznit Jackson gonna do is make you feel something. In this book, had me feeling like, y'all know that Arthur meme where he's balling up his fist to his side? That's how I felt reading this. Maddie. Let's start off with her dad. Basically, her dad is trying to shelter her and keep the public from knowing that she's biracial. He makes her check the weather 3 times before she leaves out to go to school, and if there's even an inkling of rain, she has to stay home because he don't want her hair getting wet. You know, when the hair get wet, it get poofy, and then people gonna know that she's biracial. But that's why I said when a surprising rainstorm happens, everybody finds out that Maddie is biracial, and they start, oh my God, they running to tell everybody, did you know Maddie's black? Mind you, 2014. And y'all really care that much that this girl is black? Whole time she been passing as white girl. So I'm thinking like, okay, y'all find out she biracial, leave it alone. Who cares? Her classmates decide to make it a big deal, and they bully her even more, throwing pencils in her hair, doing all types of stuff. The video goes viral of her being bullied. It brings attention to their high school. They basically try to change their image by integrating their proms. So you have Kendrick Scott, who is a star football player. Kendrick is a coward. He didn't partake in the bullying activities. The fact that you didn't stand up for nobody, he was irritating me. His little sister was more of a stand-up guy than he was. Kendrick gets convinced to take Maddie to the prom because they were having like a rally, and Kendra's girlfriend Wendy, her best friend Jules, she comes in blackface, dresses Maddie with the same like dingy clothes, and she's like, hi, I'm Maddie and I'm biracial. And the whole school is just laughing and hee ha ha, thinking it's funny. Finally something cracks in Kendrick, and he's like, that's not cool. And even his white girlfriend is like, Jules, what are you on? Jules is like, what? It's a joke. She thinks it's so funny until everything come crashing down for her, because that even goes viral. That she done dressed up as in blackface, and you're bullying this girl. Jules gets called down to the office, and she gets told that not only is she suspended, she can't go to prom no more, and she's trying to go to Texas A&M, and they like, we don't want nothing to do with that. We don't want nothing to do with her. She's not going here, you know. So Jules is hurt. Jules. Somehow she flips the script and try to make it seem like it's Maddie's fault that she got suspended, that she can't go to prom, and that she's no longer going to the school that she wanted to go to the most. She done got kicked out before she even. How you hating from outside the club? You can't even get in. I'll remember that. Hold on to that. Wendy, Jules' best friend, ends up telling Jules that's not cool. And Jules is like, why are you taking up for her? It was just a joke. And it's not like we did really bad things to her. Wendy is basically taking up for Maddie, and Jules don't like it. So Wendy and Jules fall out. Wendy is really trying to get some of that NFL money. She tries to convince Kendrick to take Maddie to the prom. They want to show the world, not just the city, the world, that their school isn't messed up and they're not bullies. And how can I be racist if I have a black friend? I showed up in blackface, but how can I be racist if my white boyfriend's best friend is black? Kendrick decides to take Maddie to the prom, but he's like, I need to get to know this girl first. Like, nobody has even tried to get to know her or nothing, y'all. Everybody just bullies her. So he's like, let me reach out to her to try to get to know her before we go to this prom. And when they sit down to get milkshakes one day, he finds out like, okay, Maddie, alright. Even though she quiet and all them kids bully her, it's a strength inside her that he sees that nobody else sees. After that, he's like, he can't stop thinking about Maddie. He's infatuated with Maddie at this point. He loves her. He's thinking about his future with Maddie. Mind you, he got a whole girlfriend. Mind you, this was just supposed to be a nice gesture. You know what I'm saying? So after the first incident where Maddie busted the windows at the school, she goes home. Somehow she figures out that she can move things with her mind. Like, okay, little Matilda. She in the room making lamps float, bed levitating, all types of stuff. Mirrors coming off the wall, all with her mind. Telekinesis. She ends up finding this book under her bed, and it's saying basically you have a strength that inside of you that is capable of doing a lot of damage. When Maddie finds out she has telekinesis, she gains a certain confidence within herself. And so when Kendrick asks Maddie to go to prom, she ends up saying yeah. So she goes home, she tells her dad, she tells her papa that she wants to go to prom with Kendrick. And before she could even get it all the way out, he slapped this out of her. And he's like, I told you won't be going to prom with no Negroes. And it was just a whole lot. So when he did that and he tried to make her go up to her prayer closet, he'd be locking her in the closet. She stands up to him. She's like, no. Told y'all she finding that voice. Her dad is real old school. They got black and white movies. No cell phone, no landline phone. Maddie in the kitchen cooking dinner for them every night. He sit at the head of the table, she sit next to him. He makes her watch old movies, tells her this is how a woman's supposed to be. This is a woman's place in the kitchen, staying at home, handling things for her man. This is how I want you to be. Her whole life, that's she's thinking this is all there is. Maddie don't know nothing about nothing. She don't have no social media. She doesn't even know Netflix exists. She don't know nothing. 2014. I keep saying 2014 because I need y'all to pick up what I'm putting. When her daddy slapped the shit out of her, Maddie was like, oh, he don't even know. He don't even know.
You gonna slap me, bitch?
You gonna slap me? In front of my friends? He went to try to slap her again, and she had that hand up, stuck. Yeah, slap who? And her dad's like, oh, witch. I don't want you in my house. She's like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. After that, her daddy wasn't messing with her no more. Like, he like, I got a demon in my house. You got a Picasso in your house. Fast forward, Maddie's like, I'm going to prom with this boy. I don't care what you talking about, Papa. So they're getting closer and closer. They both Kendrick and Maddie are developing feelings for each other, for real. I told y'all that he already think about a whole life with Maddie. He didn't have a vision like Raven, and he want to make it come true. Fast forward, day of prom. Her dad is like, please don't go to prom. Please don't go. They're only gonna hurt you. They don't want what's good for you. These people are only gonna hurt you. I just try to protect you your whole life. That's all I ever try to do was protect you. She's like, Papa, shut up. Shut up with all that. You messing up my vibe. You go on now. I'm going to prom. Leave me alone. He calling her a whore and all types of stuff because what she got on. She like, this the stuff that you did. We've been watching movies together. And it's the stuff that the women in the movies be wearing. And you be telling me that I need to be like them. But you gonna call me a holdout. Kendrick comes to pick her up. They go to prom. Maddie's all like nervous and everything. She's still nervous. Kendrick like, the whole mission is to protect Maddie. At this point, he like, I don't care who sees. Still got a girlfriend. He like, I don't care what happens. I must protect this girl. I'm like, all right, Kendrick. You know, at first I was like, Kendrick. I wasn't really feeling Kendrick because I felt like Kendrick was a coward. But as the story went on, Kendrick started to shed that coward-like skin and stand up for himself. Not only himself, but others that were like him. So he's got his voice back too. And in a sense, him and Maddie were like kind of like similar in a way, because they both were keeping their head down, just trying to get through. You know what I'm saying? Not really speaking up for themselves or anything. They were being who someone else wanted them to be. Like Kendrick, even though he was a star quarterback, he was playing football for the love of the game. It wasn't his dream to go to college and become an NFL player or nothing. That was his father's dream. That's what his father wanted for him, and his father forced him to do all these different things to where he didn't have a voice for himself either. His daddy was like, go to school, keep your head down, do what they say, stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Just to get by. And Kendrick did that. He never, went against the grain. And Maddie did the same when it came to her dad. Her dad said basically the same thing, but for two different reasons though. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, in a sense, they had similarities to where they could understand each other. Once they got to know each other, they sensed that drew them even closer to each other. So yeah, they pull up to prom, and Maddie's like, she's nervous or whatever. He's like, okay, just don't worry about nobody else, just focus on me and you. They get into prom, having a good time, taking pictures. Maddie's starting to come up out her shell a little bit. They dance and even kiss and all that. Mind you, the whole time Kendrick still has a girlfriend. He like, I don't care who's he, I love this girl. Whole time Jules in the back setting up. It comes time for them to vote for prom king and queen. Maddie and Kendrick's name somehow on the list. Maddie's like, who should we vote for? Kendrick's like, us, we on the list. Maddie's like, what, my name on there? So they end up voting, tally up the votes. Kendrick and Maddie win. Kendrick and Maddie go up to the stage. As Maddie's standing there, so much going on, Maddie gets this sense that she needs to leave. Something's wrong, something's not right, and she don't listen. She got the sense before, but she ignored it. She was like, no, I'm finally getting to have a normal experience in life. Let me just enjoy it. This when you need to listen to that gut, man. So Maddie goes up to the stage, and when she's standing there, a whole bucket of paint falls on her, and she in shock. She like, what's going on? Kendrick is like, I gotta get her out of here. Like, we need to leave. They trying to leave outside the prom. There's a protest about the black and white prom. So they had the all together prom, but then some of the white kids still wanted to have their own prom without the black kids. So right across the street at the country club, they having a whole nother prom, and the all together prom is in a barn. So when Kendrick's trying to leave, it's black students for the Black Student Union outside protesting because their country club said they not hosting no all together prom. So the black kids decided to protest. Police out there, everything. And this one police officer, he itching to peel a muffin cap back blue. So as Kendrick's leaving, the crowd is getting bigger and bigger, and they like in an uproar because they like something. Everybody's like, what happened to Maddie? Kendrick ends up accidentally bumping into the police officer, so he starts beating him with the baton. Maddie's standing right there, his sister right there. He starts beating him with the baton. He goes unconscious. Maddie basically blacks out. She's so in a trance, she don't even know what else is going on. When she finally comes out of it, she gets up, she goes into that country club, and she starts dropping bodies, severing heads. That police officer that beat on Kendrick till he was unconscious, dead. She made all the police cars float up in the air, dropped them on them. Kids out there struggling, they nose bleeding, throwing up, hearing sounds and all that. She got everything just going all over the place. So when she leaves, Maddie's thinking Kendrick is dead. When she leaves, she goes through the town setting it on fire, which brings me to a quote that I love. Her teacher, Miss Morgan, I really liked Miss Morgan. I wish she would have did more for Maddie, but I liked her. When Jules got her acceptance into Texas A&M revoked, they were sitting in the office with her principal, Jules, her father, the principal, and Miss Morgan. And Jules just kept on saying like it was a joke, it wasn't that serious. And Miss Morgan was like, did it ever occur to you how much you hurt Maddie? You're lucky Mr. Washington refuses to press charges or push for resolution. You're pretty much walking out of here scot-free, because if I were Maddie's mother, I'd be setting fire to the rain for treating my little girl like that. And that's exactly what Maddie did. She set fire to that whole town. Literally burned everything up. She was like, they killed Kendrick. I don't have nobody else that cares about me. She goes home to her dad. Her dad, he heard the booms, the explosions going off, and he's like, he knew that it was Maddie. He knew it was her. He knew. And he was like, I should have killed her when I had a chance, when she was a baby, because I knew she had a demon inside of her. So he loads up the revolver, and is like, when she come in the house, I'm gonna have to kill her. He gonna have to man up and kill her. Maddie goes home. She's like, Papa, I think I did something bad. He comes out the prayer closet with a gun trying to shoot her. And I'm like, bro, she got powers. This like that scene in the Johnson's Family Vacation. How you gonna drown an alligator? This they habitat. That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. What are you doing, Papa? He tried to kill her. It don't work. Wendy, Kendrick's girlfriend, ends up coming to save Maddie. Surprisingly, the whole time Wendy didn't go to the prom because Kendrick was going with Maddie. But Wendy started getting pictures of how Maddie looked. I mean, how close Kendrick and Maddie were. Her friends was sending her pictures from the prom and stuff. So she starts saying, oh, hell no. And she get up, get some clothes on, do some makeup. She like, I'm going there. But when she pulls up, she sees Jules leaving and laughing. And instead of Jules leaving, Jules turned back around, try to go to the country club. Her little boyfriend dead. Jules' arm cut off. She said she played dead, and that's how she didn't die. I really thought she was dead, though. I was happy about that. I was like, yes. Mind you, Maddie's still thinking that Kendrick is dead. She's like, I don't have nobody that cares about me. Just killed her daddy. She don't know where her mama is. Her daddy made it seem like her mama just up and left them. She ain't there no more. Her mama had a whole journal under the bed. Maddie found it. So back at the scene when Kendrick is unconscious, his sister is pretty much trying to bring him, like, what's going on. She's begging Wendy to help her, like, we need to take him to the hospital. Wendy's like, I gotta go help my friends are in there dying. I need to go help my friends. And so Wendy made the choice to stay out there and help them. She like, because Callie was like, I can't pick him up by myself, like, I need help. He has a pulse, let's get him to the hospital. And Wendy's worried about dead bodies in the country club when your boyfriend right here coming to life, in and out of consciousness. So when he comes to, he's like, where's Maddie? F Wendy, where Maddie? And that hurt Wendy. So he's like, you need to go find her. And she's like, what? Wendy's like, what? Why would I do that? That's when Callie's like, can you please do something for somebody else for once, that is when it's not benefiting you? Because the only reason she wanted Kendrick to go to prom with Maddie, so that it can make them look like they were not racist, they're not bullies. And you see how that turned out. It didn't work in Wendy's favor. So Callie, mind you, this is Kendrick's little sister, is like, can you go find her? And she was like, well, how am I supposed to find her? And Kendrick was like, if all of this happened, where would you want to go? So she went to her house, pulled up, Maddie in the room crying. She's like, I need to help you, so she helps her escape, pretty much. That's how the story went. I was like, that was a good book. I really liked it. And the whole time I was like, wait, like I said, I was like, oh, this like Matilda. She a little Matilda. Then I was like, hold up, it's really giving Carrie. It's giving biracial Carrie. And what I love too, I was reading the physical copy, but I also listened to the audiobook when I couldn't pick up the book. They have like a podcast storyline in there as well, and they have music playing, like, when it's like you watching a true crime TV show. The podcast is called Maddie Did It. There's Tanya and Michael. They do the podcast. And it says, Mike, when we first met, I had never heard of the massacre. You pitched it as more of a paranormal phenomenon, that Maddie had superhero-esque capabilities. But what you unconsciously left out is how societal racism played a large role in the incident, which as a white man would be rather typical. Even if we took race off the table, identity would still be at play. Because if she had been who she was meant to be from the start, if she'd been allowed to just be herself, in fact, if everyone involved was allowed to be their true, authentic selves without fear of recourse or ridicule, none of this would have ever happened. Michael said, wow, I guess I never really thought of it like that. Tanya said, so how about it? What did you actually learn from all of this? Michael said, me? I'm not sure. Tanya, Mike, you spent years obsessing about this one girl. In a perfect world, what outcome did you expect? If everyone was allowed to just be themselves, none of that would have happened. Y'all blame Maddie for all of this, but y'all are forgetting that, hold on, because that's what she said too. She said, Mike, you've spent years obsessing about this one girl. In a perfect world, what outcome did you expect? He said, well, I guess I expected or wanted Confirmation. I wanted to show the world that she was real, that her power existed, because they can't find Maddie. Maddie has been nowhere to be found. People saying she dead. She ain't dead though. She went to go find her mama. Wendy dropped her off at the bus station. Maddie went in to be with her mama, who also has telekinesis. It seems so unfair that she didn't get her just dues. People deny it ever happened, continue to tarnish her name, and underestimate her capabilities. Tanya said, couldn't her living a life on her own terms without any interference be considered adequate restitution? Isn't she owed peace? Michael. But after everything, I thought she would have popped out of hiding and stuck it to everyone who lied about her, who blamed her. Tanya. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Michael. I guess, but wait. If she really was still alive, wouldn't you want to talk to her? Collect the proof you keep referring to? Tanya. Nope. Michael. Why not? Tanya. It's hard for me to answer that ethically, because if she was still alive, aside from the extensive rigorous testing she would have to undergo, she'd more than likely stand trial for murder, terrorism, maybe even a hate crime. So yes, from an anthropological lens, there's so much we could learn, but she's honestly been through enough. What good would it do for her or anyone? Like Wendy said, we can shout the truth about what really happened until we're blue in the face. It still wouldn't change anything. Maddie will always be the villain. People need to want to see the truth. Comprehension is key, and that hasn't exactly been mastered by the citizens of this country. Michael. It just seems like there are no winners here. No justice. Tanya. So what? You want her to return and kill even more people just to prove herself again? Michael. Did I want all those people to die? No. But I mean, you got to admit that the way she snapped seems almost understandable. That bucket of paint was the straw that broke the camel's back. But admittedly, it also begs the question, did Maddie's punishment truly fit the crime? Was it fair that other victims, both black and white, were caught in the crossfire? Tanya. And I would counter, if racism is ever truly fair, there are always consequences, both seen and unseen. In fact, I gather it's one of the reasons the state worked so hard to brush this under the rug, because if people knew revenge of this magnitude was even a remote possibility, there would be far less incidents of racial injustice in the world. And that is so true. That's a whole nother topic for another day. I gave this book 5 stars. Tiffany D. Shizney Jackson. She did her thing. She did her thug thizzle. Now, I was sad when I got done reading it. If you like Carrie, you like that thriller horror, this is for you. You, my number one. So yeah, y'all go read The Way to Blood. This is